Would you think about next year, when you have another class of 7th graders, now one of their homeworks will be to go to the library and teach and read the wisdom of our students alongside the ethics of our fathers, and do homework about what Kathy said right alongside Rashi? What's the problem? Why do we evert to go to the past for wisdom rather than to look for it right here and to allow our students, from the day they can think, understand that they are part of a dialogue, that what they say counts. It matters. We raised generations upon generations of people who received Judaism rather than participate in it. Eventually you let go. It's not interesting. You don't want me to tell you what I think.
When it's no longer a religion, it's a what?
It's not that it's no longer a religion. It's not only a religion. The religious world is part of the Jewish expression. But to think that Judaism is only a religious expression is a profoundly myopic lens.
So positively it is...
In my opinion, it is a way of meaning making in life. It is a way of living. It is a way of perceiving ethics, relationship with others. Don't get me wrong, religion aims to give answers to all these questions within a communal mind frame. But if you do not abide by every ritual element, that does not mean that you cannot come into dialogue about the same concepts. That's what I want you to understand.
One of the cross-cutting problems of all this is that different people have different tolerances for ambiguity.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, the point of all of this is to get to
Tachlis.
the answer.
Tachlis.
And that assumes that there is the answer.
Yes.
Whereas everything that you're showing us tonight shows us that sometimes Jews just have to live on the question. And that is the source of the meaning that they create in their lives.
Very difficult.
A lot of people can't handle that because it's very threatening.
Then they
But
don't.
that's acceptable, but that's part of the
They don't then.
In other words, you have to accept that amongst ourselves there will be a group of people that are only interested in, tell me what I have to do. Just don't confuse people.
Don't bother.
And that's got a legitimate place within the plethora of
But you're right.
pluralism.
You're right. Ambiguity is a very
It's
threatening or uncomfortable thing
For some
to
it's
the human.
liberating, for others it's threatening.
Absolutely.
yeah.
To others, ambiguity
Wow.
allows you to, to really explore
Mhm.
in different directions rather than just
Yes,
run to
really.
the target.
As we said, go according, I mean, they should be teacher according to the nature of each
You know, יש לי עוד דקה?
Can.
I'll end up
יש עוד
with,
דקה?
I'll end up with a very beautiful story that I like.
We'll even give you two.
Apropos of ambiguity, there's a story. Maybe some of you know. I read it on an email. It talks about a man who stands on a cliff and he's about. He looks down and he's very scared of what he sees. And God stands next to this person and says to him, "Jump." And the person looks at him and says, "It's very deep. I mean, I'm going to die." God said, "Trust me. Jump." He says, no, if I am, I'll crash and it will be the end of me. He says, "I'm God. Trust me. Make this leap of faith. Jump." He says, "Okay," come close, and then he regrets it. So God pushes him. God pushes him off the cliff. And then the man talks and says, I screamed. I yelled. And then I started looking around. I realized that I'm not going to crash. And for the first time in my life, I started to fly. So ambiguity can become a fantastic thing as well if you take it in the right way.
Can I tell you another story?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is in Eastern Europe. I don't know, 200 or 150 years ago. And there's a young Jew who loses his faith. And he goes and he searches for the answer, the secret of existence. And he searches the Far Eastern religions and other traditions and so on. Nowhere can he find it until somebody tells him there's a tzaddik in some distant corner of Eastern Europe who is so holy that he's the only one who knows the secret of life. I'll make it short. He goes through tremendous difficulty to get there, crosses borders illegally, suffers, and so finally reaches him. He gets there, the man makes him wait 6 months before he'll even give him an audience. Finally, he gets to him and he says, "Rebbe, I'm not a believing Jew, but I beg you to tell me what is the secret of life. You're the only one who knows." he looks up and he says, I don't know, I guess it's, willingness to dialogue with people and to meet people halfway and to really listen to one another and so on. And the guy gets furious. He says, what? For these cliches? For these truisms? I went through all of this? And the rabbi gets concerned about him. He says, listen, don't upset yourself so much. He says, maybe it's not the willingness.
Okay, so it's wrong. Okay, so it's not. Okay, Chavarim, thank you.
This Wednesday.
We're meeting this Wednesday.